come out every time against Nova if they've already got that Catherine. They're the squad that started that Echo Batiste train, I guess, that happened last season, where everyone started running it for a couple of weeks there. So smart ban by Rogue, just not allowing that combo to go through. But it is still a Catherine on the side of Nova. She's still incredibly strong, even just on her own. So it'll be interesting to see what they do decide to round it out with. There's going to be the Lance coming through, so this is that big tanky front line that Nova loves, or that Rogue loves to get in front of Hammy.
Not only a big tank in front line, but whenever Lance is picked for the side of Rogue, I just get so excited because Evil is going to be playing that pick. And we know Evil is such an incredibly mechanically skilled player. On Lance, he can make incredible plays. The Kestrel comes out for Nova. This is one of Truth's strongest heroes and one of his most confident heroes. I feel a little bit nervous for Rogue now just because Truth can make a lot happen with the Kestrel pick. As far as the last pick for Rogue, they don't have too many options. They played Scarf in the past with this comp, and they could also go back to the Jewel to try and pressure the Kestrel early on.
Celeste is there too as a very viable option. Hammy plays an incredible Celeste. He showed that off yesterday, and it could definitely come out against the Kestrel. You have the range equaling each other once you get to level 8 with the Glimmer Shots versus the Helios. So if you're wanting to have that carry versus carry matchup and you're wanting to prove yourself, the Celeste, I think, would be a great option for them to go with. But it's going to depend a lot on what Nova takes as their jungler, because obviously Lone Delphi has been a very consistent player for them.
Yeah, I was going to say the last pick here for Nova is going to have to be Samuel, because they're going to want to play the double carry composition we talked a lot about yesterday, where you have to play in formation. Catherine in the front line, Kestrel and Samuel right behind her. You stick close together in the team fight and just kite away together when Cruel tries to engage. It's a composition that also has a lot of poke and siege potential that you can abuse throughout the early game and mid game. Nova have clear win conditions and clear power spikes. If they play to them, it can get out of hand really fast.
It certainly can. Now, one thing that I want to mention is Celeste has made it all the way through this draft, right until this final pick. Rogue could pick that up if they want to take them on at this range game.
They could take it, like Tasty Bacon just said, and Hammy has played it last game. I would still prefer to see the Scarf come out, just because Hammy plays it better, in my opinion. It's a more of a comfort pick for him, and it plays better into the Catherine, because you can't reflect as much damage with the Catherine bubble as you could against the Celeste.
Not only that, but putting down the goop is a great way to keep someone in close range for the Krull to just start building up those stacks on them. They can't run out of it as quickly, so it does make a lot of sense. Either of those carries would have worked right into the wheelhouse of Rogue. This is a composition that they know and love.
All right, let's start to talk about how we expect this one to go down then. Who's going to be the aggressors in the early game, really putting their foot down to start things off?
Nova will have to siege, but at the same time, Rogue will try to fight back by ganking with Cruel. If they get the kills, they can break down the siege and they can scale.
All right, we'll see if they can set that siege up and if they can keep it going throughout this game. Hashtag Vainglory8 on Twitter to let us know whether you want Rogue or Nova to take this one. But it's time to hit the Halcyon Fold and pass it back to our casters once again.
Thanks very much, guys. Jules and Donone back once again for Rogue versus Nova. This is game number 1. Now, Kestrel didn't make it all the way through, but Celeste did. I'm very surprised we didn't see it here, Donone, but clearly something else was on Rogue's mind.
Yeah, clearly that Celeste is actually so good at zoning out the backline, and obviously it is going to be Delphi in Truth looking to be standing as far back as possible to avoid damage, and that makes it a very easy situation for Eco to be in. He just has to body block out the Spitfires coming out of Scarf, and they should easily be able to deal with Pond the Original on this Krull as a result. Truth when he gets that 4th item online, Delphi when he gets the Broken Myth, Eve, and Frostburn online will be a absolute threat to Krull engaging too far. And actually, Hammy able to steal away that Elder Treant. That is a good start for Rogue there. Already up quite a bit of gold, but it is going to be the side of Nova getting some ambient gold here in the back, and that is not what... Rogue did that the first part of the rotation. Never mind. So, okay, I'm caught up now. I was a little distracted there on the Treant, but good start for Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, with an extra chunk of chains. That was in a 2v3 as well. Did a very good job of stealing away with the Spitfire. Now, looking at Hammy, actually looking at Evil, let's look at him. He's on this lance once again. Hammy's going to be more than enough protected. Evo has just been such an absolute monster on this hero. Like, I just couldn't believe myself yesterday that some of the teams weren't just banning it away from him. And he's back on it again. Such a comfort hero for him. They're actually going to start up this Elder Trio once more, and that did go over. I think well, to Hammy yet again, it did indeed. So Rogue, 2 out of 2 Elder Trio so far.
Yeah, and Evil is a absolute master on this lance, especially when he gets that echo online, but it is a little bit more difficult since it is a double ranged composition set up for the side of Nova here. It makes it a little bit harder for him to get those triple impales, those triple Githian walls, just because obviously Truth and Delphi are not going to want to be standing right on top of each other. You know, it's very easy for them to look at that and be like, okay, we need to stay separated, and that's going to make it easier for us to come through and get a win here. Because Lance gets locked up when he uses... Oh, hold on here.
He's going to get a little locked up with a merciless pursuit. Lone Delphi moving forward, that drifting dark. Just punishing Evolve for his aggressive positioning. Hammy couldn't really trade much back. Was quite low on energy after using the Spitfires to clear the wave. He will end up going back here now. However, picking up a reflex block first item just to dissuade Eco on this Catherine.
We see another steal on this Elder Treant, though. Evil is here, not quite going to be in time, and now Evil's in a bad
and now
spot.
he's actually just going to get chased. Yeah, Merciless Pursuit will stun him up, and that'll be first going over to Truth.
And Hammy looking to try to help his teammate out, get that farm there. It is going to go over to Nova. A good Spitfire lands on Truth. He's very hurt, so he is going to have to be careful on this next situation. And here it goes, Hammy!
Oh, Hammy moving forward with the goop, hits another Spitfire to finish off the roasted Kestrel. Will be Eco just backing off. Tail between his legs. Lone Delphi moving up towards the lane, however, might be able to get a little something done. However, Evo has spawned and made his way towards the lane as well, so very, very careful they're going to have to be around this turret. In fact, Eco going very low. A Spitfire and a goop will signal the end of him. Another kill on the board for Rogue.
And Rogue has had a magnificent start so far. Hammy has been a monster on this Scarf, poking out Truth every opportunity he gets. And that is a beautiful thing for Rogue. Obviously, this push composition coming out of the side of Nova wants to rotate into the lane, wants to force Hammy back, and they've been unable to do so.
Oh man, a goop does land. Githian Wall as well does end up hitting the Spitfire. Eco is just about there. Didn't quite body block the Spitfire, so Truth is going to have to be forced to go back here once again.
Yeah, and like I said, Hammy has been absolutely amazing on this Scarf, landing Spitfire after Spitfire. It does look like he's going into that Eve of Harvest first, and he should be able to get it here off of just one recall, as he's done a great job splitting those ambients with Pawn the Original every opportunity they get. This is going to give him more sustain for his life in the lane, as well as additional energy regeneration as well. So Scarf in a good spot right now, but this is that push that Nova really needs to start getting. You know, Samuel is here. You need to be forcing some damage on this turret as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we see this combination so often. This Kestrel with this Samuel just pushing down these turrets very, very quickly. Pond did make his way towards the lane. He is so close to hitting level 6. As you'll see time and time again, Krolls love to sit in that top brush. As soon as that level 6 hits, there's going to be devastation. It's going to be go time for Nova. Oblivion does sleep up. Pond does have to use those boosts to get away. That will be Hammy, not quite dealing enough damage to take down Eco in that fight.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Kroll's natural health pool is very low, so when he commits to that backline, tries to get on Truth, tries to get on Delphi, he almost has to go on to Delphi, because Truth, now that he's got a bit of weapon power behind him, will be able to use the active camo mid-combat. So that is going to give him some additional time to actually maneuver out of a dangerous situation, as well as return a lot of damage onto Pawn the Original. And because of that low health pool that Kroll has, he's going to get chunked out very quickly by those Malice and Verdicts, by those Glimmer shots, and he can put himself in a bad situation very quickly.
Honor has hit that level 6. He has got From Hell's Heart. Evo lands an Impale. That is as good. You're as good as dead. Never don't want us to overstep here. They're happy just poking away. They've also got to be very careful. That Pond could be making a flank here. They're going to have to get some early vision down. They've only got the single scout trap in the mustache brush on their side. But for the moment, that should be all right.
Yeah, as of right now, the only flasks that are down are for Evil and for Truth. So Evil obviously not going to be the main target of damage, but he will be on that front line, you know, and those Glimmer shots and Malice and Verdicts are directional. So it doesn't even have to be Nova targeting him for him to take the damage. So, you know, if they look to find a fight here in the next couple seconds, they could essentially take Evil out pretty easily. That is a big defensive item for a Lance not to have because it's based on your total health pool. So as the captain, you're obviously going to have a higher health pool and get a little bit more benefit out of that. And here it is Rogue coming in.
There's the root. Evo comes up big from Hell's Heart. Does land on Eco. Can't do much for his team when he's stunned up. Truth ends up going down. Hammy going to chase with those Spitfires. Eco forced to pot the boots there. Takes a Spitfire on the exit as well. And that'll be Rogue actually moving towards the gold miner here.
Yeah, and Rogue already up 1.5k gold, definitely looking to extend that. Hammy clears out a little bit of vision here, which is brilliant. And now Delphi might be in a little bit of a rough spot as Rogue is prepared to turn their attention as quickly as they need to. Gold mine gonna go over, Hammy securing that with the Spitfire and Goop. And there's just nothing that Nova can do at this point. Hammy has his second tier 3 online. It is that Frostburn. So that will provide that additional utility slow for his team. It will make it easier for Pon the Original to get onto targets. And I almost think if you're Hammy, you need to go Broken Myth third instead of Clockwork.
Well, he has got the he's got Frostburn right now, so he's slowing up Nova every time he hits Spitfire. Time and time again, Eco has been hit by 2 or 3 now. This is quite deadly here for Nova. If they keep standing in the way, they are going to get rooted like this. Eco gets rooted up, so does Truth. They are just going to be able to back off for the time being. On the Original did send out the From Hell's Heart as well, but it did end up getting blocked up there. Now Rogue have the advantage in the lane. Eco is so low, has got Brass Tremor, but he cannot help Truth as he is just burning away. Hammy's got the wave clear. His turret is under siege now.
Yeah, and with Evil having this Crucible online, here we go.
Impale was good. The Githian wall was better. Eco burning away in the goop. Oblivion does get blocked out. Lone Delphi tried to save his captain, but it just wasn't enough.
No, definitely not. And Truth takes another Spitfire. Hammy is absolutely amazing on this Scarf pick, finding more.
Goop's coming up big as well. He did actually use those boosts to just try and find the executing blow onto Lone Delphi. Maybe Broken Myth is in order because he's going to be consistently, if I can get my words out, on 9 stacks. Truth ends up taking out the Lance. Evil did overstep a little bit, but Lone Delphi takes another Spitfire. Can't punish Hammy for having his captain down.
Yeah, and I can see the rhyme or reason for either a Clockwork or the Broken Myth. The reason I'd like to see that Broken Myth is just because of how much poke he's getting down before these fights. It seems like it would be a little bit more beneficial for them because, again, he's been landing every Spitfire to the point that it's forcing Nova back. So it's questionable which one he should go for. I'm interested to see which one he does go for. Obviously, he's the professional. I'm just a pleb here talking about Vainglory. But overall, Rogue is in a great spot, though. They have a 3k gold lead at this point, and, they've really looked like they're in a commanding lead in these past couple team fights. Nova has been able to find 2, but Hammy has just done everything he can. He's hitting constantly with those Spitfires. I mean, Delphi's already at half health before this fight has even started.
Oh, Delphi, he has got sustain, which is the main thing, but he actually just needs to get the Drifting Dark off with a couple of Malice and Verdicts to keep alive, for the time being at least. Only with 1 item under his belt as well, and if you look upon the Original right now, he's got the Tension Bow, and he's working more towards maybe a Poison Shiv in this case. But they are just going to move and rotate towards the lane at once again. Upon maybe looking for a little something here. Nova are going to be able to secure their front camps, at least for now. Now, this is a big pickup. Eco has actually picked up the Crucible now. Hammy, though, just taking the turret instead. You know what, Rogue on the offensive, do go for that turret, do find it as well. Evil going in a little bit too far, almost goes down. 1 shot, 1 kill will go a little bit wide. Blast Tremor was used as well, but only a little bit too late.
Yeah, and it is important to make note that Crucible was used by Evil, but he has saved the fountain.
Heart is going to hit Eco. Oblivion is going to get blocked by Hammy in return. Truth going very low. Hammy takes a glimmer shot, and Pon has to back off as well. There's a lot of poke damage from Nova. He cannot be underestimated. Evo is coming in though. Impale does end up missing. In fact, it's going to get blocked up by Truth, but Low Delphi is alone. Beautiful Githian wall from Evo into the goop. Eco taking so much damage, and there's the Dragon's Breath as well. No turret, no problem. Hammy gets one. He gets two, he gets three with the Dragon Breath. An ace for Rogue. What a beautifully turned team fight.
That was absolutely amazing. Hemi finds three. They find a turret. They're going to find a gold mine. And on his way out, Hemi will even likely look to take some of the enemy's jungle as well. That could not have gone better from Rogue. Evol even recalled all the way to base. Let's get into this replay real quick. So we'll see at this point, Evol is now back in the lane. They lock up a double stun against the wall. Here comes Hemi, finds the Spitfire onto Truth, comes through. He's not able to get the active camo stun down before he dies. And then the rest of that Dragon's Breath, finding Lone Delphi in a basic attack on the Burning Catherine, going to find a third kill for himself as Rogue takes a 7-2 victory, 5,000 gold in the lead with a huge objective lead as well.
This is why Rogue right now is sitting at second place in the ladder. Because they can pull stuff off like this. Not only is Evol a god on the Lance, but Hammy is a god on the Scarf as well. Impale does end up landing. Pon is going to be on Eco's tail. That goop is going to be a little bit too much for him, but Evol's going to dash forward straight into the Githian wall. He'll take the kill. Another Githian wall will land. And there's Lone Delphi falling, and now Truth on the run from Hammy. Pops into stealth, but gets popped himself. Rogue, they're getting a little ridiculous, and they will find another ace.
Yeah, and Hammy has that piercing shard available to him, so he is going that broken myth third item. I think this is the best route for the case that they've made this game as they find another ace there. Again, it has been Hammy finding very extended fights where he would be able to build up that broken myth. He's going to increase his damage a lot quicker than with a clockwork, and he's been able to find the kills very quickly. Truth has gone into a double monocle breaking point build, and he's just not surviving long enough to actually make anything out of it. I really would have preferred to see the Sorrow Blade double monocle into a tension bow or into a bone saw and make it very difficult for Pon the Original and Evol to come in face first. And that just hasn't been the effect that we're seeing. Pon the Original is staying healthy through these fights, and as a result, that just allows Hammy to be safe on the back line. He's landing every Spitfire essentially, and they're finding kills almost uncontested.
Yeah. A little bit worrying now for Nova, but again, this is what we can kind of expect from Rogue. Triple Impale does land. Oh, that's bad. Nova caught in the wrong place, wrong time. Truth running away. Dragon's Breath is charged up. Eco's going to fall. Truth as well is going to bite the dust. And now Lone Delphi, he's about to get turned to charcoal as Hammy finds another triple kill. Back to back to back ace for Rogue. And now the Kraken, with 20 seconds left remaining, will be spawning very soon.
Yeah, and this is going to be another gold miner going over to Rogue. Pon doing a great job taking out this Crystal Sentry as well. That's going to be two objectives that they get off of another ace. So this is what we've really seen out of Rogue, is their objective control on the back of these team fights is almost unrivaled, with the exception of maybe Cloud9. I mean, I would even put them up there, maybe even above TSM. So Rogue has really been impressing me these past couple of weeks, and Pon the Original, you know, again, him and Evol on that front line doing such a great job making sure that Truth and Delphi cannot find any damage onto Hammy. And again, Hammy has stayed literally at 100% health through every one of these last couple fights. And now with this Clockwork online, this Scarf is at a very, very scary part of his build. Truth finally working into some Pierce, though. Maybe going to be able to do a little bit more damage to Pon.
Well, yeah, you'd hope so at least. But if you even look at Eco, a classic Catherine build is that Echo as well. Hasn't got that online. Got Crucible. Has even got the contraption to get a little bit more vision down and visual denial. But now that Kraken is going to get started out by Rogue. Pon, however, he has other ideas, kind of. He's just diving around those brushes for the moment. Oh, Lone Delphi. That's a big Spitfire. That's another big Spitfire already. Hammy just chunking out Nova. 2 Spitfires and Lone Delphi's on half HP at the moment. Over the wall you can see Truth though, but Rogue's attention is firmly placed on that Kraken now.
Yeah, and I want to take a minute to make a note of the vision control that Evil has here. Look at all of these scout traps. I mean, there's 4 scout traps through the entire way that an enemy could come, including one in the lane and in their own tri-bush. So, you know, putting himself in the enemy's tri-bush gives them vision.
Is that where you want to be, buddy?
Oh.
I don't think so. Evo is going to find the kill.
Evo's there.
More kills for the captains. That'll be a Crystal Century going down. I don't know why he wasn't there. I don't know why he was there either. I'm not going to lie to you, Day. No idea, but he ends up falling. And Hammy now, 10 kills, 0 deaths. He's got 2 kills on Pond, 2 kills on Evo. The true carry and Hammy is really coming up trumps for Rogue. They've got that Kraken now marching down the lane. Nova, this is their make or break time. 2 turrets remain now.
Yeah, but Truth is just able to find a couple beautiful glimmer shots onto Hammy. He's already below half health. So we'll have to see if Pond and Evil can continue to be that frontline defense for the team and keep them down. Here comes Truth.
Oh, Truth is going to block that from Hell's Heart beautifully. Dragon's Breath's going to get charged up already. Blast Tremor was used as well, but it does get blocked by the Crucible from Evo. A beautiful Githian wall to lock up Lone Delphi does sentence him to death. Pond has fallen, though. Now is only Hammy to kill Truth and kill Eco if they can, and I think that's exactly what they want to do. There's another kill for Evo as he finds the Githian wall. That Kraken still marching on the base. Even the Crystal Sentry is joined in now, and I think that's the end of the game. Game number 1 is going to go over to Rogue as soon as they finish off this Crystal. Hammy is going to make mean work of it. Although Lone Delphi is up in a couple of seconds, I'm not sure he's got the damage or the means to stop it.
Yeah, and Hammy, absolutely amazing job on this Scarf. His positioning was untouched at almost every point of this game. Helped carry his team through a victory, and this is what Rogue is known for, that hyper carry Hammy. And it works out for him again.
Hyper Hammy. It was 18 minutes in and they already ended the game. Full build as well almost. Apart from those tier